There's just something about it. It's going to be a fine day in the spring weather here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Nate Manahan, and it is time for another office hour show where we bring the trainers of I don't know. I was trying to come up with some superlative, so I just need to bring them up. I didn't plan that ahead. Sometimes I have good things that come right up. Sometimes it doesn't work. But on the left hand side of the screen from Glenwood Springs, Colorado, Miss Jenny Rickle. Jenny, how are you? Hopefully
Hey.
not at a loss for words like I am.
I'm doing really good today. You know what I mean? The sun is shining again in Colorado. It is freezing outside. It was like 4 degrees when I woke up. So I'm just happy that I work indoors in my office right now, just enjoying my life at PayProTech.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and what's interesting for me, and I don't know if this is for you, Mike. This time, like I work in my basement here, and all my little home studio, home things, and it's a little chillier down here than it usually is because the heat's not running, and I'm just forcing myself not to run a space heater because it's like 60 degrees
Yeah.
outside the last couple of days, and the heat doesn't kick on. So it's just the weird weather of Indiana. But Mr. Stetzel, how are you up 2 hours north from where I'm at?
Yes, yes, yes. My Nate, my favorite marketing director of all the. I was trying to find a superlative for you.
There you
I
go.
got to
Nice
try
try.
because you do so well every week. I'm almost sad for you because I know this is going to be a hard thing for you to overcome. But you know what? I just had to turn up the heat in my house a little bit. It's 40 out today. 60 is gone here for us. But you know what? As I said, every week now for a while, I will take this that it's even 40 today on February 16th. I think spring's here. Somebody said it the other day. I don't think Puxatawny Phil knew what he was talking about.
I'm hopeful for that. And today's topic is tied to my sweatshirt, and no one can probably figure out why. Why is it tied to my sweatshirt? Well, today is my son's sectional start in swimming. He jumps in the pool tonight in the prelims. Hopefully, we'll make finals on Saturday for Pike High School.
Awesome.
And sometimes it's when you get to the end of the season and you get there, that's where you want to peak. And that's what happens when you want to do after your merchant activates. You don't want to let them down because if they don't keep processing, you don't make money. It's all about the residuals, folks. And if you want residuals, they got to keep processing. So there may be some things you need to do to help your merchant along the way after they're up and running. Now, hopefully it's less, the sales process should be the most amount of work. That's our goal. But after day one of them starting to process, there are things that we can do to help make them happy. And we're going to talk about some of those things this week and next week. I'm going to go to Jenny on the first one. What happens when a merchant says, oh, first month gets over, they're looking at the statement, you said I wasn't going to be charged for this, or man, this is a lot more expensive, or a competitor comes in and says, hey, I can cut your rates, and you need to do something to do that. When they need to change a pricing thing that they maybe just did, what do they need to do? How do they make pricing changes?
Yes, absolutely. This actually comes across quite often. So there's two routes. Are you going to lower and eliminate fees, or are you going to add an additional service that costs a little bit more? So if you're going to eliminate and lower fees, you can just send a request in to partners@payprotect.com. We can go ahead and remove any fees without any additional paperwork. Now, if we're going to add something, we need the merchant to agree to it, right? We have to make sure that the merchant acknowledges that this is going to be added to their contract. Usually it's because we're adding equipment. Um, or software, something along those lines. So we actually have a form called a special pricing request. It's also referred to an SPR. There is a very specific form, so there might be some additional copies from there in the past, but the team really does need to make sure that we're using the most up-to-date form. You need to go ahead and fill out the new changes that are occurring, as well as have the merchant sign it, and then that needs to be emailed into partners@payprotect.com or your dedicated relationship manager. So depends on what's changing. So if they're removing fees, just send an email request. We can remove them without a form. If they're adding anything, the special pricing request needs to be filled out, signed by the merchant, by the business owner, and emailed in for review from our agent support team.
Mike, are there any times or any things that, because Jane did a great job describing how the process, are there any mistakes sometimes on the form that you may see or things that we could help our partners make things go a little smoother so it goes faster? And also, how quickly do these process requests get put together, and when will the merchants start seeing the change?
Good question. So, on an SPR, for example, the special price request, that requires a signature from your merchant. So, that's the big thing here, especially as Jenny said, when you're adding a fee or raising a fee, that requires their signature. And so sometimes people forget about that. There are also times where you might need to add a debit transaction fee because they're adding PIN debit or EBT, but don't forget to add that debit gateway fee or that separate EBT fee. Obviously, we will help you knowing what to add and help you decide how much you should charge. Obviously, there's a buy rate for each of those things that we can assist you with. Um, but the biggest thing is just having it complete, getting it to one of us or partners at paprotech.com. And then typically you're going to see that take, 1 to 3 business days, sometimes just a little bit longer. Lately, the team's been really busy. It just seems like we've been busy, and it just creates more work for those on the other end that make those changes. So, this is something that's going to require some patience, and, it isn't going to happen overnight. But this isn't, as we often say, this is not an emergency. This is not a 10-car pile up on the freeway when we're doing credit card processing. We all just have to be patient a little bit sometimes, myself included.
Have patience, don't be, oh, sorry, child. But the things that can happen a lot of times, I think, is one, just get it done. Two, sometimes the partner it's not the merchant that says something, but the partner sees that first residual check off a new merchant come in, check, as if we do checks, first residual payment on the 15th of the month or the first business day, either day on the weekends when it falls on the weekends. When they get that in and they get paid, they're like, that wasn't what I thought I was going to get paid. When that happens, and I'm sure you guys get asked this question, I thought I was going to make $150 a month on this account. I only made $7. Mm-hmm. And what do you guys do? What should our partners do when they see that? And obviously it may turn into a special pricing request at some point, but what do you encourage for them to do since they're up and running, but they're not getting paid what they thought they were going to? Jenny, you have any ideas?
So when I take a look at the statement, that's the first thing I'm going to do is take a look at the details of where the fees are coming in. Because a lot of time you got to take a look at card types. Sometimes they're accepting debit cards instead of credit cards more often. And so the debit pricing isn't set up correctly. EBT is also a high culprit of that. So I look a lot into card types. If I kind of get puzzled, I also rely on my statement analysis team. I'll just have them take a look and say, hey, let's take a look at what's happening with the pricing and the card types that are being accepted along with, average transaction, monthly volume. These all come into play. So we could review it. And then perhaps we have to change the pricing structure in general, right? Maybe they're on flat rate and they need to be moved to cost plus to help with the costs and things like that. So we can navigate and make those moves around as well. So the special pricing request can also assist on if you need to move them from flat rate to cost plus or vice versa and changing those pricing structures within an active pricing account. So a lot of things in answer to your question, Nate. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. Well, and here's my take on that. Don't panic. Let your relationship manager and the PayProtech support team help you along the way. They're going to help you find that piece. But also be diligent, be following it up. Just like you encourage your merchants to be diligent in what they're being charged, especially when our competitors are in there. We encourage our, partners. Look, there could have been a mistake somewhere. There are so many, I was going to use an expletive. So many moving parts. We'll just go with that. That are going on. A lot of things. There are a lot of places for human error on all sides, and there's a lot of things that one thing could have a cascading effect, and we can dig and figure it out. And have patience. And rule number 1 from Brian Linke: don't panic. Don't panic. No reason to get stressed. We'll figure it out. We'll get you taken care of as fast as we can. Now, one of the things we were talking in our pre-show little meeting beforehand is, one of the things that can help us a lot of times is logging in to Payments Hub with your merchants or making sure they're logging in. Jenny, you brought this up. I'll let you take this one, then I'll come over to you, Mike, on the next one. What can they do? Can a merchant do over at Payments Hub?
Yes. So I'm a huge fan of Payments Hub. There's a lot of reporting in there. So the big things that merchants can see are their batch reports, the deposit reports, as well as any disputes or chargebacks that are occurring. They also have account management. So if they need to change their bank account, if they need to change their physical address, things happen and change within the business, right? They can do it all online and it's all done with them. And it's a quick turnaround time as well. So it's so much easier if you do it online. There are forms that are available as well. But I think that the online is a much easier option. You can help the merchant log in. They can go ahead and monitor their account, their day-to-day activity, and make any updates that they need to without having to call into customer support or send any additional forms. So it's really easy.
Yep. And I'll bring that up on the screen here. I just typed in banking in the search at My PayProtech, and it'll give you a quick screenshot of where the merchant can go and find their banking information, where they need to click. Clearly click on the settings, then funding, then edit primary bank, helping them understand what's going on with Payments Hub and what they can do at Payments Hub. ahead of time. Make that part of probably I would say even part of, as soon as they get approved, make sure they know that this is where they're going to get their statements, how all these things happen. Make sure they know how to log in, how to recur, how to, change things. I'll even bring up Payments Hub just for a second. See, I'm doing this live, but that they're logging in as a business owner, not a sales partner, that if they need to, they can register right here, as we said. Mike, what Payments Hub as a whole, we have some products in there that are upsells, that are opportunities for both further revenue and for the more things for the merchants to do. What are those things? Kind of walk us through what Payments Hub, the merchants now in there, what are they going to do? And eventually there is a premium option there.
Sure. There is, the section is usually found when you open the menu, the 3 lines, and you go to integrations. And there you'll find the ability to log into your QuickBooks online version and do an upload periodically. Whether you want to upload your transactions once a week, once a day, we give you the option to do that with a specially crafted template where you'll load your data into that special spreadsheet and you'll upload it to your QuickBooks Online. As a Pay Anywhere user, there is the ability to upload your inventory or menu items into your Pay Anywhere back office to be used on your terminal. Same situation. There's a CSV template. Same thing you can use there. There is an option in integrations for you to click on Home Base, which is an opportunity for you to join with our marketing partner there, Home Base, and do your payroll and do all kinds of things for your employees. And it links to Pay Anywhere for the data it needs to complete those tasks. There's also an option to use the upgraded version of PaymentsHub.com, which includes free paper for your terminal. It includes a terminal warranty in case you break your terminal, drop it in the mop bucket one night, whatever it is, instead of paying $99 to replace it, it'll be free. And best yet, now, lots of new stuff here, is the ability to do invoicing and take virtual terminal payments in Payments Hub. And what that means is you have the ability to send invoices to your customers. And if you don't use one of those more expensive bookkeeping softwares, you may not have another option to do this. This is that time to make yourself look very professional instead of handwriting a bill for your best customers to go orders. Mr. Customer, let me send you a bill for that today. You can just click on it and pay that with your credit card. You have the ability to add cash discount on that. You have the ability to send now recurring invoices where somebody, you own a gym or you own storage units. You send them a bill every 30 days, or you literally charge their card every 30 days for $50 for 12 months. That's what they've agreed to. So we have the ability to do those things now in Payments Hub that would normally have required us to go to an outside gateway like Authorize.net, FluidPay, or NMI. So we're doing all of that for $14.95 a month at this point.
And including all their new features, and we'll probably do a deeper dive, but we have the ability to manage your Google reviews right within Payments Hub, so you can see what's going on and respond to your Google reviews. And there's more features coming down. That's the reputation management tool. And then on top, some new loyalty features that are coming along that are with Enroll and Pay. And we'll do a deeper dive onto that. But Jenny, if a merchant, this is kind of back to you, but if a merchant wants to opt out of the $14.95, because it's an automatic opt-in, and how does that? But that $14.95, how do they opt out?
Yep, absolutely. So they do get a 60-day free trial. So I always encourage people to check it out. At least take advantage of the free paper for the first 60 days if they need it, right? But then after that 60-day mark, the $14.95 fee will apply and they're automatically opted in. The merchant can go online under their business settings and there's an option to just opt out automatically. Or if it's a sales partner, if you have that kind of mentality, like, don't worry, I'll take care of it for you. I got you. Just send us an email, partners@papertech.com. We can opt them out on behalf of the merchant and take care of it. So there's a couple of options. It's super easy. And again, have them take advantage of the 60-day free trial. The recurring invoicing is there. That virtual terminal is always there. That's actually part of the free. That virtual terminal is also nice in Payments Hub. But it's a great feature. Encourage your merchants to log in, check it out. Absolutely.
Yeah. And there is information over at MyPayProtect. Let me bring that up over here. Well, I got to go back out because I had download. But if you type in Payments Hub, you're going to find several different resources, knowledge bases for Payments Hub, things that you may even be able to use in your selling. And I was looking at a couple things probably we can update. But Payments Hub is a huge tool for you, not only for helping you support your merchants, but also maybe using some of the tools there for actually closing your merchants. So it's a great opportunity there. As we close out, as we try to always do, right around a 15 to 20 minute show, anything, we're going to talk about PCI, and next week I think we'll do that. We'll jump in a little more into enroll and pay and some of the things on reputation management on this side as we're working with our activated merchants. Anything I missed on the major questions on what things you may need to change? Let's talk about hardware swaps. That's one I meant to mention. Hardware goes down, obviously. It changes for each one, or they want to change hardware. Or add hardware. I'm adding all kinds of questions all at the same time. But anything that goes on with hardware, let's start with one, their hardware goes down and they don't have, how do they get the support for that, the merchant? And two, because they want to process, how do they, when they want to change hardware, they saw something somewhere else, so how do they process that? I'll let Jenny or Mike, who wants to take this one?
I will.
All right, Jenny, it's all you.
I like to talk, right? So first of all, their terminal goes down. Have them call into our tech support. They can go ahead and go through the troubleshooting steps. If our tech support team does determine that the problem cannot be resolved, they'll send out a swap. It's overnighted. It's sent right to the merchant, ready to go, programmed, plug and play, ready to use. And then the merchant will also have a shipping label to send the broken one back to us. So our swap process is pretty clean and simple. And then if they decide that they need a completely different terminal type, maybe they have an Ethernet connection and they need Wi-Fi, phone line, whatever the reason is. If they're participating in our free merchant placement program, they will need to supply a signed form from the merchant with a new equipment acknowledging that, hey, we're supplying this for free. If you discontinue your services with us, we'll send it back. So there is additional paperwork if they are going to change around equipment if it's part of our free merchant placement program.
Yeah, and I would say one of the things I encourage on the hardware, make sure your merchants know that what they're getting is not the only thing you sell. Because a lot of times we're going in, and I think it's the right place, with a specific package, and they don't realize, well, if I decide I want more than a terminal, or XYZ competitor comes in, let's just use Toast, one that we can't integrate with, and they're like, hey, you're a restaurant, we're going to switch out your whole POS, we'll do all of this. Make sure they know they should be reaching out to you from the beginning. That's going to keep that longevity, making sure that you don't see a huge attrition rate of merchants when they know that you're not just a one-trick pony. You can offer all kinds of things. Mike, I'll bring this up to you. Mr. AK Hall says, so our virtual terminals is access through Payments Hub, and it is free. I just want to always make that comment because thank you, AK, for watching.
Great question. No, it is not. The virtual terminal is part of the Pay Anywhere upgraded package. We have made exceptions on times when there is a problem with someone's hardware, and we will get that merchant a virtual terminal to use for that emergency basis, of course.
All right. So on that, ladies and gentlemen, we will close out our day. We've got lots of things we'll talk about in the weeks to come. If you join us live, you can get your questions answered live. It's kind of like Ask the Doctor. Get those, why wait for the next phone call when you can jump in live, help everyone else out, and we'll come back with all the questions and answers that we have as possible. Jenny, I'll let you close us out today with some closing words. I'm doing a new thing where we're going to go back and forth with Mike and Jenny closing us. They don't know that. I'm just changing this up. But Jenny, I'll let you close us out. What are some encouraging words to our partners as we just passed Valentine's Day? It's over halfway through February, and we're staring down March very quickly.
Right? Like it's springtime. I feel like there's a really good energy in the air. So I highly recommend reach out to your active merchants. Make sure they're good. Make sure they're happy with their hardware. Have they reviewed their statements? Are they happy with their billing? Just kind of like we went over today, you have the opportunity to make adjustments to their account so they stay happy. They're feeling the love, right? Valentine's kind of day feel. So reach out, stay connected, and then go make some more sales, right? Happy spring, everybody.
Happy spring. Happy spring. Thank you guys very much. Have a great one. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Office Hours.
Thanks, Nate. See y'all later.